偽装コインの引き渡し場所へとやってきたが。
Good God, what a bloody mess.
人が死んでるやん。襲撃にあった。このゲーム時間かけすぎたら状況が変わってしまうことあるねんけど。まさか遅すぎたからとかか？金目のものは持っていない。訓練していなかったら開けられなかったであろう箱。何が入っているんだろう？特にこれはっていうものもない。
This is valuable. They must have been in a hurry or they'd never have left it behind. Someone was wounded here. It looks like another person dragged him off. Maybe there'll be some tracks.
ウィッチャーさんなら調べる箇所光らせられるんだろうけど、ヘンリー君は人間だからな。とても見つけにくい痕跡やけど、辿ってみるしかない。
It looks like blood. Charcoal burners. Someone must have seen or heard something.
なるほど。
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
What happened at the crossroads?
Huh?
嘘をつくな。ってのはおかしいやろ。は？としか言っていない。
I'm a friend of his.
Who?
That fellow you brought here. I need to find him. I have to help him. I owe it to him, you see.
I don't know nothing and I haven't seen nothing. If you want to know something about it, just ask Boyar. I don't want nothing to do with it.
誰のことかは知らんけど、
Who is this
鎌をかけてうまくいったな。
Boyar cracks the whip around here. You'll recognize him by his red cap.
Thank you.
God be with you.
What do you know about the wagon that's been ambushed at the crossroads?
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Do you have any idea whose wagon it was?
I don't know. And I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm sure you've heard of the gang that burned down Neuhof
Possibly.
and poisoned the well in Merchoyed. They're the kind of men you don't want to get on the wrong side of.
I didn't get on the wrong side of them, though. Did I? The opposite. Actually, we helped them out. And I didn't even know who they were.
What happened?
Let's just get this straight. We didn't ambush anyone.
And what were you doing at the crossroads then?
We were just passing, and we saw the wagon. So we took the sacks.
Just the sacks? What about the trail of bloodstains leading to the camp?
I was just getting to that. We also found one wounded man. What am I saying, wounded? The fellow was hacked like a martyr in some holy picture. He begged us to hide him away.
So you have him here somewhere? Is he still alive?
The fellow has quite a will to live. I'll give him that.
Do you know who ambushed that wagon?
Not a clue. We came a long way after.
Did he tell you anything?
He wasn't exactly talkative. His lungs are full of holes, so talking's a problem.
Where is he?
We've locked him away in the shed. There.
I want to talk to him.
I don't know. He paid us. We're not to let anyone near him.
I don't mean to hurt him.
So be it. Here. Take the key.
Thanks.
God be with you.
なんやろ？墓掘り。死んでしまった NPC が持っているクエストアイテムが指定のトランクに保管されるみたい。今回で言えばアンドリューの持ち物だね。なるほど。アイテムなくなって積んでしまわないようにってことね。 野生動物が怯えないパーク取ったから近づいても逃げない。かわいいね。おっと、クエストやらなくっちゃ。
Who are you?
悪い人なんよな。まあ助ける選択肢でええか。
Never mind that. I've come to help you.
Thank God. I thought I'd breathe my last here. Lucky for me, my guardian angel comes bursting through the door.
I'm no angel, so you'll have to answer a few questions before you get my help.
Ah, well, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Who is it you work for? Who did the wagon belong to?
To Menhart. He's some kind of merchant who hired me for protection. But that's all I know.
And where's this Menhart disappeared off to?
No idea. I blacked out after the attack. Only came to my senses once I got here. I don't even know where here is.
Who ambushed that wagon?
A knight. He's been following us for a while.
And where did he go?
I don't know. I got a beating, and then I passed out.
Do you know what you were carrying in that wagon?
I never asked Menhart that.
Can I see your wound?
Are you a quack?
Sort of. That's a deep wound to the flank and you're still losing blood. You need to staunch it.
Will you help me?
I can try. Tell me more about the night.
Where's the coin?
What? What coin?
I will not repeat the question.
I don't know about any coin. I swear.
Ah! Don't. Where are those sacks you took from the wagon?
Sacks! They're behind the shed.
That's him! That's got to be that knight!
Is that all? Did you take anything else?
Fuck! Stop! Stop right there!
誰だ？荷馬車を襲った騎士。騎士が襲撃？馬で逃げようとしとる。こっちも馬乗らんと。うちの馬めっちゃ速いから追いつけるんやけど、止め方が。もしかしたら悪い人やないかもしれんけど、撃つしかないか。やぶさめになると勝手かわからんな。お、当たった。止まった。もしもし。いきなりなんやの。すっごい遅れてダメージが伝わったね。騎士さんがビターになってもうたな。ああ、剣を抜いてしまいましたか。いいでしょう。お相手いたしましょう。
You could have lived a long and happy life. Verdammt nochmal.
お、この人なかなか強い。
I hope you have said your prayers.
やるな。
Gott. Verrecke. Geh zum Teufel.
リーチ、もっと前に踏み込まな届かんな。 1対1じゃ負けることは絶対にないな。
Who is that driver? It seems I have finally met my match.
I want to know everything. Who you are, why you're here, and what you know about the ambushed wagon.
You may call me Ulrich. I will tell you nothing more until you give me some assurances.
Assurances? How about this? If you talk, I'll spare you.
Do you expect me to believe that? I know full well how these stories end. I have been at the other end of the sword more times than you can count.
I give you my word.
The word of a thief? Jesus. It is true what the preachers say. This world has gone quite mad. You had better kill me. I'm finished, anyway. Just as you are.
Why do you think I'm finished?
He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. Once you take a weapon in your hand, your days are numbered. It is the same for every one of us.
Not everyone.
Every last one. Knight, mercenary, or footpad. There are men who die peacefully in bed, their wives and children at their sides. But not you, or I. You will end your life in a ditch with your belly ripped.
Unlike you, I'm not a criminal.
You believe that the forging of money is an honest trade?
I've got nothing to do with that. I'm not a forger, I'm the one investigating them.
What? What are you saying?
I'm in the service of Sir Radzig Kobyla, Governor of Skalitz and Royal Hetman.
Then we have something in common. I also am here under orders from above.
From who?
Perhaps you might sheath that weapon, so that we may talk eye to eye, if we do indeed have a common cause.
Stand up.
It is true our meeting has not begun well, but if it is the truth that you are sent by Kobyla, then we can assist each other.
What do you mean?
I found out many things, but there are still questions I cannot answer. And the last man who knew anything is now dead.
What man was that?
Meinhard, the merchant from Passau. Listen, I will explain everything to you, but first, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, really?
You will introduce me to a certain person, and I will tell you everything I've learned.
Who do you mean?
Master Tobias Pfeiffer. If you truly serve Sir Radzig, then you must know him.
Of course I know him. What do you want him for?
I have here a written confession which tells how those forgeries are made, but I do not understand such technical matters. Master Pfeiffer, however...
We'll definitely be able to make sense of it. And you'll give it to me, just like that.
It seems I have little choice. This is the last lead I have. In the meantime, I will return to Sassau and see what I might learn there.
ほえ、偽装コインに気づいていて、ヘンリーと同じく操作してい
Shouldn't
る
you
立
go
場の
with me
人や
to
っ
see
たか。
Pfeiffer?
No. I must remain in Sassau. I have some loose ends that must be tied.
What's your name, anyway?
I told you. I am Ulrich.
Just Ulrich.
It is enough.
Because you look like a knight. They seldom have just one name.
It is true, I have a horse, armor, a sword, and a shield. But there are many ways to acquire such things these days. As I am sure you know.
So you're not a knight?
I am a trustworthy soldier in the service of a nobleman. That is all you need to know.
こちらは、誰に仕えてるか話してもたけど、相手のことは、全くわからんままになってもたな。
Tell me what you know about the false coins.
Do you know Passau?
地図はもう全部の地域出たけど、
No,
そんな地名はなかったで。
A city in Bavaria. Passau is a
ド
city
イ
of
ツの南
three.
東の都市、パ
All
ッ
the
サウのことみ
currencies
た
in
いだね。
Christendom change hands there.
I see. And that would include Prague Groschen.
Some months ago, counterfeit groschen were discovered to be circulating there. They are made from copper plated with silver. The Passau alderman began to investigate and learned that a family of money changers was involved. They were bringing the forged coins in from Bohemia and sending back real ones. My liege lord is allied to the Passau alderman, so they requested that he deal with the matter.
And so he sent you.
Yes, he needed a man that he could trust absolutely.
And what about that wagon? What happened there exactly?
I followed Menhard from Passau. I had reason to suspect a connection with Sassau.
So they were transporting false groschen on that wagon?
Yes. On their way here, they brought real coin. Groschen,
フォリントに
florins,
ついては
francs
知らな
and
か
the
ったけ
like.
ど、ハ
But
ンガリーの
now,
通貨み
the
たいだ
sack
よ
were。full of
普段は
counterfeits.
スイスフランショックでも有名やから聞いたことあるやんね。
What do you mean about the connection with Sassau?
The matter was investigated in Passau, and the executioner extracted information from those who were arrested. They told him that the coins were made in a monastery.
What, in the monastery itself?
I cannot say. I know only what the Passau scribe wrote down in his reports of the interrogations.
Why did you let them get here before attacking?
I wanted to discover where they hand over their coins, which I failed to do. Besides, Meinhard had an armed escort, and they kept two busy roads and lodged at inns throughout their journey, until he came to this god-forsaken track. I cannot guess why he came here, but it was the perfect opportunity to strike.
What happened on that track?
I ambushed them. I took down two, but that bastard Manhart cut the horses loose and rode away.
What next?
While I was chasing Manhart, those charcoal burners came and stole what they could. Before I could catch him, his horse threw him and he broke his neck.
So we won't get anything out of him.
Unfortunately not.
What happened to Menhart?
He's dead, of course.
I know, but what did you do with his body?
I buried it. He was a bastard. But I'm not one to leave Christian remains rotting in the woods.
I see. And where's his grave?
He ran from the wagon uphill along the path to the north. Along the way there is an old ruined cabin. I buried him behind it. And don't think I don't know why you ask. Robbing graves is shameful.
そないなことうちがするわけや。もう、この時点で、すでに3回墓掘り起こしてきたよね。クエストが
If
指
you
示する
say
からさ。
so.
Very well. I'll go and see Master Fayfar.
Godspeed. I will wait in Sassau at the Wagoner's Inn.
なるほど、そういう事情やったか。手がかりの一つだったメンハートという人物も亡くなってしまったようだね。我々も偽装コインの技術者を操作していたけど、修道院が関わっているやって。マジかよ。なんで武器と盾を置いていくんだよ。持っていけばよいのにね。馬も逃げたままここからサーサパまで走っていくのかよ。中世が舞台のゲームでは教会の悪が描かれがちだけど、あくまでも創作だということを忘れんといてな。動画的にこういうテーマは触れにくくもあるからね。ウルリッヒが伝言のため渡してくれた文書。ウルリッヒに対してボヘミアを自由に通行させてやってくれってことと、偽装コインの検査について記載があったで、銅板を打ち抜き型で硬貨の核を作り、その核を銀とのアマルガム、銀と水銀の合金で覆い、精巧に作られているようだね。馴染みのない新しい技術が使われているから、修道院とそういった技術に優れる人物も関わっているってことになるな。
God bless you. What troubles you?
前回に引き続きフェイファーさん、こんにちは。
Master Fayfar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovna, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn it, blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. Turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone. Can you describe him?
An older man with a moustache. But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
I asked him who his liege was, but he refused to tell me.
We live in such strange times. In days past, knights would vie with each other to see who could extol their liege's name the loudest. And today, they take assumed names, hide their emblems, and sneak around the land like thieves.
I got the impression he was hiding his identity because his master's at odds with Sir Radzig.
That may well be. As a staunch supporter of the king, Sir Radzig has many enemies.
He told me that the fake money was being taken to Passau in exchange for gold coins. Then that real money was being brought back to the Bohemian lands.
That would explain why those fakes bear the Passau countermark.
His master is allied with the Passau alderman, and they told him to sort it all out.
I wonder who could be behind it all.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seemed to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau, interrogation held this day, put to pen by the questor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which certainly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. Ah, but this is interesting. Here's an outlying description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognize the hand. It's a Clement of Kaplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
Well, it certainly explains why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzig and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square. Good luck then.
写本に登録されたから閲覧してみるけど、ハインリッヒ3世はヘンリー3世のことね。その人物を呼ぶ国によって、発音、日本語でかな表記が変わってくるってことらしいよ。私たちが、人物の解説を試みた時に、バーツラフに併記して、ウェンツェルとも書いたことがあるのだけど、ボヘミア王としては、作中の通り、チェコ語で、バーツラフと人々に呼ばれているし、ローマ王としては、ドイツ語でベンツェルと呼ばれていたそうだからね。人物の名前や地名は翻訳難しいだろうね。だって、ゲームは英語で作られているからさ。と思ったりしてる。あと、今見ている写本に書かれてあるのは史実の方やからね。おし、さあサバへ行きますか。
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
画家に話を聞いてみると、修道院の監督係のアシスタントから、3度も水銀の在庫がないと言われたって言ってたで、品物が届いていないとか、荷馬車が襲われたとか、おかしなことになってる。一方で、家事を生業にしている職人たちに聞くと、修道院の職人工房で、ザックさんが銅を買い占めているんだって。偽装コインに必要な材料について、変な動きのある情報が揃ってしもてるな。
Well, that's pretty rough and ready work. I wouldn't waste my time with it. But go and ask Zach from the craftsman's yard by the monastery. He's bought up all the copper to be had around here anyway.
修道院のアシスタントに話聞くついでに、ヨハンカたち帰ってきてへんかな。この前行ってもおらんかったからさ。いた。
How are you getting on?
Oh, better. A little, at least. There's less wounded than there was. Some got better. But there are more and more people in need of treatment. Someone gets kicked by a horse, someone eats something bad, another can't sleep or has the ague. Everyone's got a problem and it feels like I'm the only one in the whole world who's able to help them. And Matthias, he worries me most of all. Brother Nicodemus helped me to move him here after what happened in Merhoyed. But he's still lying in a fever and nothing seems to help.
I'm sorry to hear it. To be honest, you look all done in.
I know. I'm constantly on my feet, and when I get a chance to rest for a while, I don't sleep well. I keep having peculiar dreams and waking up. I get up in the morning, feeling like I haven't slept at all.
上の選択肢は DLC っぽいな。
I brought you something.
That's sweet of you. What is it?
お金とお肉の支援ができるようや。
I've got a bit of spare coin, and I was thinking maybe you could use it.
We certainly could. That would be a great help.
最大額でしょ。ヘンリー君、貴族級の
I'd like
経
to
済
give you
力だもんね。
360 groschen.
Thanks, Henry. You're an angel.
お肉も狩猟したらいくらでも手に入るけど、今は持ってないな。
What's wrong with Matthias?
As I said, his wound isn't healing, and he has a constant fever. Me and Brother Nicodemus are at a loss. We tried everything we could think of. I pray every night to Our Lady to heal him. If only he'd get better.
Ah, poor Matthias.
あら、
After all he's been
マ
through.
ティアスにしてあげられることは
I'll
ない
pay
ん
for
か。
him too.
こんなとこで寝てたとは、特に会話できるでもないな。
Henry!
眠りと言ったら、子
You
守
know,
歌
I
の
could
ポー
get
ショ
you
ンやろ。
some potion to help calm you
で
down
作って
so
持
you
って行
can
って
sleep.
みたけど、
Thanks.
そういう話ではないらし
No
い。
point in it.
DLC、
Brother
ヨハンカ
Nicodemus
編
already tried and it
で、
didn't help.
変な夢の話を聞く動線があるから、そちらを解決してあげないと眠れない日々が続くのだろうね。
Brought you something.
That's sweet of you.
何のお肉か聞くの忘れてたから、全部のお肉買ってき
I've
た。
got quite a bit of
そ
meat.
したら、必要なのがたった3つだけやった。
I thought you
わ
might
ざ
be
わざ
able
狩
to
りし
use
なく
it.
ても、お肉屋さんから買い揃えられるレベルだったね。みんなに、たらふく新鮮な肉を味わってほしかったんだが。もっと受け取って、
Thank you so much. This will help us a lot. We've barely got enough to eat, you know?
Glad to be of help.
ほんでまた脱線してしもた。アシスタントに話聞く言うてましたやんか。
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the master fresco painter. He said you sent him away empty-handed 3 times already.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Can't you? In the Sasau monastery? That seems unlikely. It looks more like you're lining your own pockets to me. I wonder what people would have to say about that.
It's not. I'm not. Oh, shit.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
イエゼク教トラポタという人物の名前が出てきたな。
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
このアシスタントも脅されてやっていたわけで、イエゼク教と召使いのラポタが推認を求めてきていたらしい。北の丘でラポタが待っていることもあれば、いなかったらそこへ置いておくことで取引していたと。同じクエスト内で複数項目があるとき困るんだよね。オプションでなくとも、時々片方を進めてしまったことでもう片方ができなくなったりするから、報告の前に受け渡し場所行くか。
Why are you just sitting around?
Why not? Admiring the view. People just do not appreciate a lovely view these days.
Does the name Rapota ring any bells for you?
Rapota, you say? Rapota. No, I can't hear any bells ringing at all.
Look, you little jester, I'm investigating a crime against the king on the direct orders of Sir Radzig. Are you really going to keep pretending you don't know anything?
Hang on! What's all this about a crime against the king? I'm just keeping an eye on things. When a wagon comes in, I make sure nobody robs it. I get a commission for that, that's it.
See? That didn't hurt a bit. Where's Rapota?
I don't know. He's been staying in town lately. He hardly ever shows up here. It seems
な
he's
んか
keeping an eye
や
on
らされてる
something.
やつとか
I
末
don't know
端と
who.
いうかそんなんばっかりやな。
Who comes
確
to
信に
fetch them?
迫れないね。
I don't know. Some people. They don't speak. Just look mean. Take the goods and go.
Bit of friendly advice. You're wasting your time here. Rapota's scarpered and won't be coming back this way anytime soon. You might as well pack up and go home.
What? That bastard owes me a dozen groschen. Damn it! Now what? Ah, well, no use hanging around here anyway. In any case, thanks for the information. I could have been stuck here for weeks.
めっちゃ何人もの人を使って複雑に取引されてるな。で、うちはなんでここを捜査に来たんやるか。受け渡し場所、とりあえずラポタはいなかったということで、サーザバまで来てくれているフェイファー記事に報告だね。銅を買い占めているザックに会ってへんのよな。またミスしてる。
The Lord be praised.
あら、
What brings you to
お帽子取るとなかなかチャーミングな。
You look different, Master.
me? So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels learn we're onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
I have, but I didn't find anything interesting.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapita.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
ジェロームさんは、皆さんご存知の通り、夫人が依頼した冠を作ってくれた人やな。その部分はカットしているから、みんなは知らないよ。
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone. Which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague. Or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high. Or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
話を聞くには、少々面倒な人だね。
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest. As though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question.
どこにいてるかを聞けたのと、浴場の女将がすごいフロリアンに怒っていたって言うんで、話を聞いてみると、エステルという娘が男たちにさらわれて、フロリアンが言うことを聞けばエステルは返してやるって脅されたらしいんやな。その口論以来、フロリアンはおかしな様子を見せていたみたい。
That a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapita mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dies for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
大事な女の人が誘拐されて脅されているんやなってことは分かっている。
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Very well. I'll bring back your Esther.
Really?
Yes, but then you have to tell me everything.
I will. I swear to God Almighty. Please, just bring her back to me. Nothing else matters.
Where are they keeping her?
In the Skalitz Hills. There are some abandoned cottages around the mines. That's where I saw her last. They took me there when I said they had to let me speak to her.
All right. I'll go there and try and think of something.
You're my saviour.
グーを出してなら、話はすごく単純になる。どこに捕らえられているかを聞きました。現地に直行します。敵がいました。敵と仲良くします。仲良く。人質を救出します。で、姉妹や人質事件、一瞬で解決。
I know! Back already. How can I ever thank you?
By telling me all about the goings-on with Rapita.
They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapita. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapita?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
大通りの酒場付近でラポタが歩いてた。
Are you Rapita by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know that you spy on Florian. I know you were involved in the kidnapping of the bathmaid, and I know why you're doing it all.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
あ、逃げた。逃げるの見ると追いかけたくなっちゃう。狩猟本能。
No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skalitz mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skalitz Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronoff back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
力をか逃がすかやけど、正直この人がどんだけヤバいことしたかとか、いまいち分かってへんねんな。この会話を聞いている時点でのラポタの話は難しかったよね。
Ah, you're not worth tainting my sword with your blood. Now get lost before I change my mind.
というわけで、ウルリヒの協力を得て、スカーリッツの丘の坑道へと向かう。実は、ここで、私たちはやり直しをしてるよ。ウルリヒを連れて行ったら死んじゃった。別に彼の助け必要ないから。
The forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
これで敵集団を倒せたな。ウルフリッヒさん。ウルリッヒさんね。ウルフリッヒさん。いつの間にかお亡くなりになってしまっている。じゃあ、協力とかいいっすわ。そこでそのまま寝といてください。銅は、修道院の菓子職人が集めていて、打ち抜きの方は、彫刻家のデジフロリアンが脅されて作っていて、水銀は、ラポタが、いろんなところで回収に回っていた。そして、この場所で偽造コインが作られている。
What do you want here? I don't know you.
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Radzig Kobyla, the king's hetman. I see.
I'm here to place you under arrest.
I gathered as much. And you came alone. Ha! Very daring of you, I must say.
Ulrichさんは置いてきたんや。
I'll manage. Sometimes even a king can be deposed without an army.
So I'm a king now, and you want to dethrone me? By the way, who betrayed me?
That hardly matters, does it?
Do you think I won't get a chance to settle up with them? But I hope you don't imagine I'm just going to follow meekly after you like a lamb to the slaughter.
I don't know. Why don't you ask the men I hacked my way through to get here, if any of them are still alive?
Do you think I'm scared of you? If I give up without a fight, Kobyla will hang me. If I fight back, at least I stand a chance.
True, but death will come sooner here.
Better here by the sword than swinging like a common criminal.
If you thought that the last time, you wouldn't have passed up your chance to slip out of the executioner's noose. And you might yet make terms with Sir Radzig somehow. Who knows?
Or I'll kill you and have nothing to worry about.
Shit!
Ah! Please, please. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfar is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Ratte. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rattay then.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I'd tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Bernard to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Welcome, Henry. Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced, and after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Edzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things. There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
この引きは各地におる。あれ盗んできてこれ取ってきてと言ってくる。キャラクターの一人やな。サーザバ近くのはサイモンって人。診療所の怪しげな人物というのは治療をしてあげたトーマスというお方だね。治療のお礼にサーザバで何かあったら何でも聞いてくれって言ってもらえた関係。
I helped at the infirmary in Sasau, and there was a wounded man there by the name of Thomas, a suspicious type to say the least. He might know something.
Good. I'd rather see you seeking out better company, but that can't be helped. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir.
今回は会話が多くなってしまった。ここまでストーリーが進んだ私たちは DLC で用意されているストーリーを遊び始めたんだ。そしたら襲撃前のスカーリッツを歩けたりなんかして、個人的にはすごく抜けてた情報が保管されたというか、シナリオもすごくよくできてるなって感じたんや。なのでとんでもないタイミングやけど、次回唐突にテレサ編をスタートさせてみる。それでは今回はここまで。ご視聴ありがとうございました。ほな、またね。